Let's talk about passion and our passions. This is one of those words that may have had a mix-up in its true definition. And I love definition of words. I love the what's called the etymology of words, which is the root. What did the writer intend when these words were being used? And passion is one of those. I think if you would hear the word passion, you probably would think of, having this energy, emotion, something that drives you to do something great. Whether you have a passion for sports, you have a passion for success, you have a passion for business, you have a passion for the needy, for the hurting, the brokenness of people. Passion, right? You think of either an image of something or someone and your desire. And that's partially true. Passion is that thing, that desire that motivates us to obtain a goal. It's the fuel under our hiney, if you will. It motivates us when we get up in the morning and we have a passion for our careers or our jobs or our family. We feel it. It's a motivator. It helps us to think about go get it. And again, partially true. The second part of what the definition of passion is actually kind of negative if you think about it, because passion also involves suffering. If you think about the movie that they made, Mel Gibson directed, of Jesus, The Passion of the Christ. And the whole movie is watching Jesus get spit on, get beaten, brutalized, an innocent man suffering. The passion of the Christ. See, passion cannot be defined as a motivator unless there's suffering with it. Because in the process of us obtaining a goal with passion, we have to suffer. There's something that must die in the process. There's something that we kind of put to the side in a dying sense, meaning, for example, if you have a passion for writing books, something will die along the way. That could be the time that you used to use to go and spend it on recreation. That could be a time that maybe you would use to watch a movie, or maybe you would go out and hang out with your friends. That time now is sacrificed or is dead in order for you to enhance your writing skill. Or if your passion is to help the needy, the time that you would allot to do something maybe that was either recreational, fun, or relaxing, now you have to die to that time and say, I am going to go and do X, Y, and Z to help the needy. So something suffers along the way in order for us to be motivated to obtain that goal. And that's what motivated Jesus to die on the cross for us. Men, you know that Jesus had in his humanity that moment where in Mount Gethsemane, he said, Father, if it's your will, please remove this cup from me. He felt the suffering. He felt the pain that made him pray that prayer to his Father, although he knew that the purpose of him being on this earth was to die for us. But yet he felt the suffering. And so if you want to talk about passion, tell me, where are you suffering? Where's the part of your life that you're feeling the pain for something greater? That you're sacrificing something in order for that other thing that's greater to be fulfilled. Now in the Bible, there's a verse that encourages us in this, and it's Colossians 3, verse 23. It says, work willingly at whatever you do, as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people. Now you may say, well, how does that connect with suffering? Well, because if you're honest, a lot of the things that we try to do in life is to impress people. Someone once said, and I quote, I won't quote the person, but if you've heard it, you may know who it was. Someone once said, we buy things that we can't afford with money we don't have to impress people we don't like. And so that could be equated as suffering. Well, the suffering, in fact, is that we use these things in pursuit of being accepted, being wanted, being loved, being part of something. And at the end of the day, the pursuit is non-exhaustive. We never find it. We try to impress people that we don't like. We try to spend money that we don't have for things that we don't need. And yet the cycle continues. Because the reality is we're looking for something in other things. If put it this way, if it's a subject, people, place, or thing, if we're looking for sustainability of how we feel in a good way in people, in places, or in things, we will be searching for the rest of our lives. But there is a person that when we seek him, we find it all. His name is Jesus. And for him, that's where the suffering is actually worth it. Because everything that we do in life, when we do it for him, as Paul says to the church in Colossae, he says, work willingly. It's voluntary. This is not something that we're forced to do. Hey, we need you to do this. We need you to step in. No, this is a willingness. And that willingness may come with some suffering, may come with some time that now you have to dedicate to God's work because he's calling you to do this, that you otherwise may want to do something else with that time or with your finances. And so God is saying, work willingly at whatever you do as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people. Let's stop trying to impress people. Let's stop searching our fulfillment, our peace, all of these things that we want in life, in people, in places, and in things. Let's look into the cross, Jesus, the passion of the Christ. He truly exemplified passion that you and I as men, as legacy-minded men, should be after. That's the passion, that we suffer for his cause. We're not suffering the way some Christians around the world are suffering. We're not suffering the way some Christians in history have suffered. We're nowhere near there. Thank God, his grace is upon us. We have perhaps our own opinions about how things should happen, but we're still in a free country and we are able to speak the name of Jesus freely. But there perhaps is a different type of suffering where God is asking and requiring for aspects of our lives that maybe we're not willing to give. And so consider the definition of passion as something that motivates you to get to that goal, but that it requires suffering as a byproduct.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you were blessed by the material. We also want to remind you that there are several great ways to make sure you're staying up to date on our content as part of our 360 Legacy Plan. First, subscribe to this channel by clicking subscribe below. You can also download our incredible new app in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Just search Legacy Minded Men. And finally, visit our website at legacymindedmen.org for more information on what we believe, upcoming events, and how to join a group. Thanks again for watching.